What's going on, everybody? Shift's over with. I just want to come back on here to say something. This narrow walk, this narrow path that us as believers need to not just be on, but stay on. And yes, I do struggle with certain things, I'm not going to lie. Because I'm only human, but I'm just in the part of my life right now, with just my relationship with God and taking and doing all this other stuff that I'm trying to do and everything. It's working, doing all this other stuff right now. It's just taking each day at a time. That's really all I can do for right now, especially with this pandemic and everything going on. Just taking one day at a time. You know, God spoke, and God has spoken to me and told me things are not going to be normal anymore. He's already given me that word. Things are not going back to normal. But all I'm doing right now, I don't care what other pastors, these prosperity pastors or anyone else does, preachers, anyone else. I've already said this to God. God, I don't care what anyone else is doing. Let me follow you with everything that is in me, every fiber that is in me, every fiber of my being that is in me. I don't care what other... It's like this, like one of the brothers' videos I watch, Brother Marcus, and he's always talking about, God, I don't care what other people are doing, what other pastors are doing, other people, other Christians. Let me walk beside you. Let me walk close by you. Let me be able to walk past people, and just my shadow, I'll be so involved with Jesus and the Holy Spirit that my shadow will be able to just cast over that person and to be able to just heal that person. That's how deep of a walk I'm trying to get to with the Lord. But God, He's working on me every day. Like, I don't know what else. Like, I just take one day at a time. You know, I get into the Word as much as I can. I pray. Yes, fasting, I'm not going to lie, fasting can be difficult, you know, especially trying to give up things like sugar and what else you're trying to give up, you know, that I'm, you know, it's a bumpy road, man. Like, I don't know where believers came up with this concept, because it's not biblical that the narrow path is easy. Which path are you talking about? Because you're not talking about the narrow path. Like, it's bumpy, it's hard. Like, you got to protect your fire with God at all costs. So, you know, the day you meet the Lord, you know, and everything, that you're going to have this big bundle of a fruit tree. Like, you imagine, like, you're basically like a garden bed, and by the time you meet the Lord, like, I want to have like a big bushel tree of fruit before the Lord, like, literally. So I'm not put under the judgment seat of my Creator. Like, I just want to have a big bushel tree of fruit. And I have my struggles too, just like anybody else. But the important thing is, as long as you pray to God and let Him show you, and as long as you see your struggles, but just like I was talking about before, like an examination table, Holy Spirit and God showing you, opening you up and showing you what you need to work on, that is what matters. As long as you see what you need to work on with the Lord to improve every day on that, even if it's by little, you still do it. You don't compromise with the world. The world's going in a totally opposite direction than what? The world is going anti everything that is God. It's everything that is anti-God. But, you know, if it comes down to it, you have to even walk with the Lord alone if you have to. You have to abandon your friends and everything, and they're going to abandon you, I'm not going to lie. Like, you have to give up some friendships. You have to do things like that, you know? I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, you can still witness and lead your friends, family, whoever to Jesus, but at the end of the day, everyone walks their own path. If they want to follow Jesus, that's great. If they don't, that's their choice. That's why we have free will. Someone was trying to convince me, and I believe it was the devil speaking out of this person, telling me that, oh no, we don't have free will. How do we not have free will? Tell me that. How do we not have free will? And I won't even use the Bible, for instance. I'll just say that. How do people, if people are on these different roads, these different paths, doing what they want to do, they're picking and choosing things, how is that not free will? Honestly, tell me that. That's free will. So, you know, I'm just taking one step at a time with the Lord, taking one day at a time, drawing nigh unto Him, and He will draw nigh unto me. But I encourage everyone to do the same thing. Just, you know, take your time, take one day at a time, but every day, just see what you need to improve on, and just, it's by God's strength alone, not our strength. Remember that. Put on the full armor of God, but it's by His strength and not ours, you know, that helps us improve. It does. You think Jesus went to the cross by Himself alone, or was it by God, like by God sending Him strength over His body to help Him go to the cross? Because trust me, that was brutal. More than brutal. So He didn't go to the cross by Himself. Jesus didn't. It was by God's strength and help to help Him even get to the cross, because all He kept doing was hitting Jesus, spitting on Him, kicking Him, doing whatever. It's not by a human strength that we do anything, but it's by the grace of God, God's will for our life, God's holiness, God's mercy, God's everything that comes from God, that is God and of God, comes from Him, so we can get through things, you know. But I just hope this message can encourage somebody, no matter who you are. So, have a nice night and God bless.